Freddy vs. Jason is officially 20 years old. I saw this movie at a drive-in in 2003 in Michigan, and I'll never forget it because it was the first time I got to see Freddy on the big screen and Jason on the big screen, because I never really got to watch the old movies back in the day because I wasn't born yet. And it's a popcorn flick. You got to turn your brain off. And honestly, it didn't age well, despite some of it being cool. It only, like, Freddy and Jason only fight for 10 minutes or something in the film. I can't remember how long. It took them a long time for them to fight again, but Robert Englund, excellent as Freddy Krueger. He'll always be Freddy Krueger, you know, with his one-liners and everything. The visual effects didn't age well. It was 2003. The CGI was not great. Even, I mean, like, there is some good CGI, but it is a lower budget horror movie. I was about to say superhero movie. It's directed by the guy who did The Bride of Chucky. I feel like he did a decent job, except for some people might be pissed off about Kane Hodder not being Jason. And I can understand why, because the guy who plays Jason looks scrawny compared to the previous Jasons. And Jason is kind of portrayed as a wimp in this movie. I mean, he does do some cool kills, but it almost feels like Friday the 13th featuring Freddy and all these other teenagers that are annoying and unlikable. I mean, Laurie, the girl from was it Destiny's Child? I can't remember. Whoever that is, I can't remember her name, but she was probably one of the worst characters in the movie, and in both franchises of Freddy and Jason. And I remember I was sad that they killed her off, and then I rewatched and I'm like, why the heck did I even care about this character? This character was awful. And then, like, the nerd kid and the one dude that was in Scary Movie was in here. And then they had the drug guy. And then, like, I mean, some of the movie is funny. And then there was only one scene in the movie that was actually scary to me when I first saw it. Was when they're in the hospital and the kids are pointing at I think it was the drug guy to throw away the drugs to keep them awake. And overall, the action is good, but it takes them way too long for it to happen. And like, they killed off one of the better characters too early in the movie. What else? I mean, I like this movie, but it's not the greatest crossover. I mean, they had problems with crossing over with horror movie icons since even back then. Alien vs. Predator, which the first one was decent, the second one was terrible. Frankenstein meets the Wolfman, and all the Universal ones are actually decent, but like Freddy vs. Jason, they set it up to have a sequel, and then we never got it, and that still makes me salty that we never got a sequel, especially when Freddy Krueger is winking at the audience like, haha guys, I'm gonna make a sequel, and we never got it. And that was pretty much the last time we saw Robert Englund play Freddy Krueger on the big screen, and that was 20 years ago. I mean, he got an appearance on the Goldbergs for a minute, but that one shouldn't really count. And Jason, both of them got a remake, and one of them being terrible and the other one being okay, you know. And then we haven't gotten a movie up of the crossover since, and we even got comic books of Freddy versus Jason versus Ash, which I wish was a movie, but it never will happen. But overall, I'll give it a 7. I don't even have to really rewatch the movie to tell you a lot about it because I remember it like the back of my hand on most of it, and some of the humor and the horror stuff, like the jump scares and the terrible CGI and the horrible Laurie character, easily one of the worst final girls in both franchises. And that's saying a lot, but yeah, 7 out of 10.